Good afternoon. It is 12 o'clock, and as my special person used to say, we're going to start on time. And as he always started on time with a joke. All right, so listen up, listen up, listen up. So, why do quarterbacks tell the lamest jokes? No, no answer? Because they don't want to go over the quarter. They don't want to go over the receiver's head. Number two, what did the football coach say to the vending machine? And the what? You don't know? Give me my quarterback. So, why did the football coach go to the bank? Hey, hey, give that person a prize. Unfortunately, we don't have any prizes. Okay. All right. Uh, since we have returned in July, Selvin, Vaughn, and I have sort of emerged as a leadership team, and we were just making the lunches happen. We did not sit down to do any planning. We were just kind of making the lunches happen. So, since some of you are asking questions and sharing concerns, and my head is beginning to get a little clear, I appointed myself as the CEO to see if that's the next joke, okay, to see if we can organize and to move forward. So I shared this with Selvin and with Vaughn, and they agreed, and I thought that maybe we should form an advisory board for 220. And I think some of you may have mentioned this to Eddie sometime before. So this past Saturday evening, I sent emails to some people in Eddie's inner circle with whom he shared ideas and thoughts and invited them to come to a conference call meeting on Sunday evening. So they accepted and they came and we met. So I am pleased to introduce the advisory board for the Eddie Jackson 220 Quarterback Club. Audric Borders, please stand up so people can see who you are. Audric Borders, Selvin Cobb, McKinley Crockett, Elisa English, Ed Hagerbrook, James Matthews, Barbara Norwood, Clayton Smith, Wilma Wiggs, Martha Wilson, and Vaughn Wilson. This is your advisory board, and if you have questions, concerns, ideas, please share with one of them, okay? And the purpose of the board is to field ideas and to be a sounding board for the group. Okay, thank you so much. During this meeting, we reviewed our accounts, our income, our expenses, and agreed on the following. We're going to maintain our ongoing goals to support nutrition, and we do this through Piggly Wiggly, and to two, share one half of the cost of the cooling tent with the boosters. Three, we wanted to return to recognizing with a trophy the most valuable player, offense, defense, special teams for all Rattler games. And we hope that some of you, or all of you, will agree to sponsor one or two of these trophies sometime. We will have a form next week for you to sign up if you're interested in doing that when we have the actual cost of the trophy. It was brought to our attention that we are still paying the $20 we started back in 2009. And we didn't have the expenses we have now with rent and some other things. Therefore, we agreed that we would like to increase the cost of the meal from $20 to $25. Do I get an amen from the group? Okay. All right. So this will begin next Wednesday, August 21st. So bring $25 with you. We also discussed some concerns the board members have observed and thought we need to, may I have your attention, please? And thought we need to remind the longtime members and inform the new members of the original policies of 220. And number one, this lunch is a fundraiser. Therefore, everybody who comes through the door, unless you're a special guest like Mr. President, everybody else who comes through the door must pay, whether you eat or not. Eddie was adamant about that. You cannot just come and sit because people will always say, I don't want to eat, I just want to listen. But you can't do that. Okay? If you come through the door, you got to bring your $25 now. Everyone is entitled to one meal. That is one plate, one dessert, and one salad. Okay? We have been running out of food, so make certain that everybody who pays has an opportunity to get a meal. You may eat your meal here, or you may take it with you, okay? But it's only one plate, one dessert, and one salad. I see now two desserts. Okay. All right. Number 3. Okay, the staff has advised that if there's anything left over, they will put it after everybody is served, they will put it on the table and you can pick it up later. Number 2, club members must stay out of the kitchen. Okay? There is a sign on that door back there that says only staff is allowed in the kitchen. So if you're not kitchen staff, you stay out of the kitchen. Okay? Number 3, we do not criticize the university. We do not criticize the administrators or any speakers who come here. They are our invited guests. So we don't criticize or try to embarrass them in any way. That was one of Eddie's major issues also, okay? Number 4, we do not political speeches. So don't invite your political persons to come speak. We do not allow that at 220, okay? Number 5, we agree that most entertainers have a warm-up act. So we will begin each week with a brief comedy act. So those of you who have been wanting a chance to be a stand-up comedian, now you have your chance, okay? Okay. Hey, that's right. They gotta be clean now, okay? This is a daytime show. Since we have a resident comedian, we will start next week with Leroy Jones. So if nobody else steps up, Leroy, you be prepared, okay? After next week. Huh? Okay. Yeah, okay. We also discussed some concerns that some of you have voiced about the presidency for 220. There's been some concern about the president of the boosters serving as president of 220 also. Some of you are afraid that 220 might lose its identity. So also it was indicated that with these two groups similar, and since the boosters is the official DSO, direct support organization for the universities, that, we probably should make certain we have a different leader for 220. So therefore, the board agreed that Von Wilson should become the president for 220. Selvin Cobb will serve as the vice president. Al Borders will continue as the treasurer, and Wilma Wiggs will continue as the secretary. So, so I want to thank all of you for these 15. This is our 15th year anniversary of 220. So I want to thank all of you for your support and all of the newcomers. I see a lot of new faces today. So we want all of you to become regular members, okay? So we look forward to seeing all of you back next week. And at this point, I want to call up Mr. President. Present him the gavel.
All right, I think I'm big enough. I don't need the gavel. If I go over to somebody's table, I think I'll get some compliance. As I always say, it's an honor to be in front of you today in a different capacity. But as you know, with Dr. Jackson and Mr. Jackson, if they ask you to do something, I've never said no. Like I said, she knew me since I was a 3-year-old kid. One of the first people we met when we moved to Tallahassee from Ocala. And it's just amazing that when I met Dr. Beard the other day, the first thing we were talking about is Ocala and Silver Springs and those type things. But it's a pleasure to be before you. So before I bring up Dr. Beard, we're gonna have a couple of quick presentations. I do want to say this, and immediately upon being elected, I said this. One of the reasons the 220 Quarterback Club was successful this far has been because Mr. Jackson was able to keep everything in his mind, just keep everything together. So adding a business structure to what we're doing is very important so that we can move forward. Further moving forward, we have begun to incorporate as a 501c3. We must do that in order to get direct donations from people so that they can write it off. So that is in short order. That is in process, and we'll let you know when that has been established. And also that'll help us in our process of providing timely accounting and just being accountable as a business and keeping track of what we donate to the university. Nobody gets paid. You know, it's interesting. Sometimes when I have expenses, I've never turned in a receipt for reimbursement. We just mark that as part of our donation. So we will make sure that we're accountable to everyone as we move forward and try to operate the 220 Quarterback Club as a very successful unit. So the first person I'd like to bring up is the chairman of the FAMU Sports Hall of Fame Committee. That'll be Mr. Marvin Green.
Good afternoon. Pleasure to see you all. I'm glad to be here. I'll be quick because I know you all are waiting for the main attraction. I just want to say on behalf of the FAMU Sports Hall of Fame and Vaughn being one of our, not just members, but board members, that the 220 Club cannot have selected a better person to take it into its next phase than Vaughn Wilson. Someone who literally was raised in a house with a legend, so you know what it is to fill big shoes. Or try to fill big shoes, because I think you feel like you're still filling in your dad's shoes. So we all know what Eddie Jackson meant to this community and to this campus. And Vaughn, I know that you'll do a great job. To those of you who don't know, on September the 27th, we will be having this year's induction for the FAMU Sports Hall of Fame. We have 5 athletes. We have 5 athletes, 2 female, 3 males. We have several supporters who will be going into the Sports Hall of Fame. We'll also have several contributors. Our contributors have given over $100,000 apiece to FAMU athletics. And so that ceremony will take place in the Hansel Tooks Recreation Center on the Friday night, February the 27th. That's the weekend of the Alabama A&M football game. Tickets are on sale now. You can get our tickets online. Those tickets are $75. A table of 8, real simple, $600. So we would love to see you all there. We appreciate what people like the individuals and organizations like the 220 Club and the FAMU and the Boosters, as well as the Rattler F Club, what you all do. And our Hall of Fame is all about making sure that we recognize the legends who've done great things on the track and field, golf course, basketball court, of course, as well. But we also want to make sure that those who have given and back and contributed and made an impact, we believe that there's people who have Hall of Fame moments. And individuals in this room, like the 220 Club, you all have Hall of Fame moments all the time, and we cannot thank you enough for your contributions. So obviously, Dr. Beard, we know you'll be in attendance, and we thank you so much for your support. Even just the week you've been here, we've had several interactions with each other. So, Vaughn, I think that's most of the things that we want to talk about today. So, the Hall of Fame induction, September the 27th, that night, we're going to have an induction, and then we'll have a party. So we want you all to be there because we know a lot of times you get there, we have a dinner, we have the speeches, but you don't get a chance to just kind of let your hair down, ladies, and men well, most of us don't have a lot of hair, so whatever it is that we do with our hair, but we want to have a party that night. We want to have a great party. Last year, people were very impressed with us having that event in the Hansel Tooks Center, and there's relevance to that. Hansel Tooks started the FAMU Sports Hall of Fame. So we thought it made sense to have the event in the building named after Hansel Tooks Sr. So we thank you all so much. Thank you, Vaughn, for this opportunity. And I look forward to seeing you all in September.
Thanks, Marvin. I'd also like to let everyone know and those online that tomorrow at 5 p.m. at the Leon County Fairgrounds, Commissioner Proctor's annual kickoff fish fry. Everybody knows it's absolutely free. It's a very festive occasion. The coaches will be there, and you'll hear from several people, and we can rub in on Commissioner Proctor, how we beat Howard in the Celebration Bowl 30-26. I want everybody, when you greet him tomorrow, just say 30-26. But he's been a great supporter of FAMU from day one. He's a baby Rattler. And also Sam Dixie, I saw Sam Dixie's online. He apologizes that he couldn't be here, but he is on remotely. And for those who are watching at home, if you look down at the lower third, you'll see a Cash App. If you're at home, we need you all to pay your $20 for watching us today. We have turned into pay-per-view. We need money. Listen, if something happens different when you become in charge of something. I was calling people last night that I haven't called ever for a donation, but all of them agreed, hey, as soon as you get that 501c3, we can make significant donations. So we are moving that way, and we're going to make room for those big checks that we're going to receive. Next, I'd like to bring up Executive Director of the Rattler Boosters to give us an update and a recap of the kickoff luncheon. Selvin Carr.
Good evening, everybody. I know that many of you all came out and with Colonel Joe's well wishes, and you all came out just to see what he was talking about. And I'm sure that you all had a great time. For those who were there, please just raise your hand and say, what a great time we had. Which I didn't get a chance to. I wanted to just thank everybody for you coming out and wishing our student athletes a good season. I did give Colonel Joe a trophy, but he was surprised, he said. But he worked so hard. He was just he kept everybody in line. I think we thought we were all in the Army still. Okay. So with that, Colonel, I think there is one other announcement that Harold. I mean, do you want to go ahead and make your announcement now? And
Very quickly, thank you very much. I think with Dr. Jackson coming up earlier, you see exactly why Eddie Jackson was such a great man. Every great man, behind every great man is a woman that says, I did a great job. So Dr. Jackson, thank you so much for your being there. Um, just wanted to make mention that we did the display, the all wall of honor, the way we did it, not to exalt ourselves, but we wanted to do it in a way that Dr. Jackson or Eddie would not find out about it. And that's why the late notice of when it was occurred. We simply wanted to, because if Eddie found out about it, he would have shut it down. If Dr. Jackson found out about it, she would have shut it down, because they're not about giving and the contributions they make to exalt themselves. They're about helping out the university. And they have influenced a community of people who want to give back, like us, to do exactly that. So I apologize to the 220 Quarterback Club for not sharing that with you. A small work group that was originally formed by Ron Joe and James Matthews, I think Barbara and Sylvia DuPont were part of it. We wanted to do something to honor them in a very special way. And that's why that small work group kept it private and a secret until the actual unveiling of that particular display. And we really appreciate that very much.
Harold, stand right here, don't leave. Reverend Wilson, please come up. By the way, boy, the money is rolling in. Thank you all online. Get your fees in. Dwayne Sweet went above and beyond what I requested. So the $20, I said that's the baseline. You can give as much above that as you like. Well, thank you, Dwayne, for that donation, and everybody else who's added up their $20 online. We got over 300 people online, so that should add up. We need that money.
Good afternoon, everyone. The um, small little private, what I call Eddie Jackson secret committee that did the wall for Eddie and Jerryn, um, it was originated in Barbara Norwood's mind. And when she thought of it, she and I would sit to the table and we talked about it. And then we passed it on to others. So we formed a little small private committee to do something special for Eddie because we knew that he deserved it. And so behind closed doors, we did that. And when we passed the word on to Harold Thornton, this young man standing right here next to me,
Thank you very much.
he took it and didn't take any credit for anything, but he took it and he hit the ground running. There were 11 of us, um, and Harold just didn't say no to anyone. He told us what we needed to do. Now, he never took the position as far as being president. He said he was just the chairperson. And every time we would ask or congratulate him on something he did positive, he said, no, it's a group effort. He was so humble, so understanding. Even when he went out of town for the birth of his grandbaby, he still called us and told us what we needed to do and how we need to do it. But anyway, I'm saying all of that to say this. Barbara Norwood, Corky Norwood, and myself, we took it upon ourselves to do a small token for him and his wife because she was is his Uber. We want you to know that we appreciate you. You have a couple gift cards in here, and it's enough to take your wife out and buy her the biggest steak and or salmon that she wants. For you and her, we really appreciate you because you really deserve all the hard work that you did.
Thank you, Dad.
Love you.
Love you too.
Love you.
All right, thank you.
Just to finish up on my comment, thank you all so much. The work group wanted to do this, and we had about 8 or 9 other contributors to this project because we wanted to keep it low. But if you wanted to help in this overall effort, think about what Eddie was trying to do with the $1 million project, and you can contribute to that. And of late, after Eddie's passing, the Eddie Jackson Scholarship Fund, if you want to give to the overall effort of honoring Eddie, let's do that. Thank you so much for your attention.
Should I introduce Doctor? You want me to do that?
Let me tell y'all, our viewers are something else. At this very moment, we have raised, and it's still counting, $655 online. I told President Beard asked me what was my goal. I said, I hope I can get 1,000 today. He said, well, if it doesn't get there, I'm gonna make it up. But what I want y'all to do online is go over 1,000 so he can make it up to 2,000. All right. All right, and we'd like to introduce a gentleman that has taken over the helm of our university after the service of our great 12th president, Dr. Larry Robinson. He has come in and hit the ground running on Friday. We did the unveiling of the Eddie and Jerryn Jackson display, and then we all ran over to the golf locker room to unveil the brand new putting green. And by the time I broke down my camera and got over there and I walked in and he was putting and he made a long putt. And I said, wow, he looks like he knows what he's doing with that club. So that was Friday. Saturday, I go to cover the Rattler Boosters amazing golf tournament that they had at Jake Gaither Golf Club. And next year we want that to be packed out all the way. Great golf tournament on the namesake of one of our greatest Rattlers, Jake Gaither. And I'm filming the groups. And I see Dr. Beard and Vaughn Carnegie and Al Lawson and that team. And I see him make a little stroke, look like he knows what he's doing out there from the fairway. But he hit 2 putts that day for birdie from over 20 feet, 25 feet, I believe. So so I can tell Mike Rice, he's certainly got a support in the president for the golf team. But ladies and gentlemen, I have to call him my homeboy from Ocala, really. The interim president of Florida A&M University, Dr. Timothy Beard.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you so much, Vaughn. Thank you, thank you. You all are so kind. Let me just say, welcome Rattlers and 220 Quarterback Club. I will say that I am in my zone, meaning that I'm not a wannabe athlete. I am an athlete who happens to be the president. I don't know if I have anybody that lives near Port St. Joe, but if you go back to Port St. Joe and mention my name, they probably gonna think more of an athlete than a president. And my wife didn't quite believe it, but about, I guess 30 years ago, maybe a little longer, we had our 10th class reunion. So all these years, we had been married, I guess, probably 4 years, 5 years. And she realized what I've been trying to tell her for 4 years, that I was a man. So all my classmates, as we came in, they began to say, there he is, the superstar himself, OT, Tim Beard. And when I became the president of Pasco Hernando State College in 2015, one of my old supposed to be blocking fullbacks said, you would have made a better Dallas Cowboy running back than you would have a president. So when you talk about athletics, this is my lane. And the reason I am so gung-ho about athletics is that because I'm not sure if there are any other arenas in life that teach you more about life than athletics. So I am so passionate and thrilled to be back on the highest of seven hills. I do want to say thank you, Mr. President Von Wilson. My parents grew up in Ocala and seem like I have a million relatives still living there. I also want to honor members of our senior leadership team. The great one, COO, Dr. Donna Palm. My classmate from the class of 1980, freshman class, Ms. Carmen Cumming Martin. And do we have any more staff members here today? Well, probably the most important staff member is our assistant, Mr. James Vaughn, who was Dr. Ammons and others' special appointee to make sure, just in case people didn't like me, I make sure I have Vaughn with me. But let me just say that we're glad to be back within the 10th day of the tenure here. We're doing a lot on campus, a lot of evaluation and assessments. And let me just deal with the big elephant in the room. I am not getting rid of all of my leaders, my senior leadership team. Matter of fact, a vast majority of them will remain. I would be out of my mind to get rid of Dr. Donna Palm and Ms. Carmen Cumming Martin. But in the long run, FAMU forever. FAMU forward. No excuses. My job is to raise expectations, to really make sure we are in line with being the #1 HBCU in the country, as well as a top 100 institution. Sometimes that means doing things a little differently, but we're going to get there. So we need your support. We need your support for athletics. We need your support for our football coach and coaches and all of our athletic teams. I know we're here today for football primarily, but we need your help. We need your help. And I do want to also honor a good friend of mine, the Hall of Famer himself, the great one, the quarterback, O.T. Delancey, who set all kind of records. We really got closer when I was down in Pasco, Hernando State College. He was working with a company who happens to be one of our continuous contractors. But O.T. and his family are setting new heights there in the city by the bay, St. Petersburg. And just in case, if you haven't noticed, his children who are very athletically inclined as well, he has one son who I think he's in the 10th grade. If you go online and just do some Googling, he's probably one of the top 5 basketball players in his class in the country. So he's following in his mother's footsteps. Let the doctor know I'm talking about it. But this is a great time to be at FAMU. And this is I believe my 3rd event, the Boosters Golf Club on a golf tournament on Saturday, luncheon on Saturday afternoon. Just a great atmosphere. Very festive. The food was good. The players were very excited. It's just a good time to be back on the hill. These are the best of times. So I want to say to you, it's an honor to stand before you today. In the heart of FAMU's rich football tradition, we have coaches like Coach Colzie, who we must be cousins because I grew up a Raider. And I believe his uncle was one of the greatest defensive backs in the history of that organization. Let's give Coach and entire coaching staff a hand. So this quarterback club, your unwavering support, on and off the field, fuels the passion of our players, coaches, and the entire Rattler community. It is because of your dedication that we continue to thrive and uphold the legacy of excellence that FAMU is known for. And by the way, there is only one Eddie Jackson. There is only one Dr. Jerryn Jackson. Football is, as we all know, is more than just a game. It is a platform for leadership, for teaching young men how to rise above challenges, for building character, and for fostering a deep sense of unity. Here at FAMU, our football program is a beacon of what it means to be a Rattler. Resilient, resourceful, relentless in the pursuit of greatness. As we look at our team today, we see more than just athletes. We see leaders in the making. Young men who understand that the quarterback position is not just about making plays, but about inspiring others, driving the team forward and being the calm in the midst of a storm. The quarterback club certainly epitomizes these attributes under pressure you have learned how to deliver. In the course of the game, you've learned how to come back when it seems that the game is over. But it's not just about the quarterback or the leader. Every player on the field, every coach on the sidelines, every supporter in the stands plays a very vital part in the success of the team. Football teaches us that it's not about the individual, but about the team. We work together, support each other, and push each other to the best versions of ourselves. And I want to say this season, as we start the journey to repeat, we will face opponents who may be bigger, strong, and faster, but no one can strike like a Rattler. FAMU is built upon the foundation of perseverance, from the late, great Jake Gaither to our current coach. Excellent and the pursuit of victory are more than just words. More than that, it is built upon the principles of integrity, hard work, and respect for the game. These are the values, I'm sure, Coach, you would agree, that our players, our current Rattlers, carry with them every day. Values that would serve them well beyond, as we spoke to them a few weeks ago, time on the field. So today we continue to stand with you, our Rattlers, showing support for this community. The cheers, the support, no matter what happens. Together we march forward, embodying the Rattler spirit and making this season one to remember. And the reason it will be one to remember, not only because we're going to win football games, we are going to raise more money than ever before. So as we do in the church, how many of us are church members? How many of us ought to be church members? Y'all know the story. Look at your neighbor. Say, we're going to raise more money this year than we've ever raised before. Come on, we're going to raise more money this year than we've ever raised before. How many believe that? I believe it. I speak it into existence. I am a giver because I understand if you give, you will receive a whole lot more than what you gave. My mother would say during her lifetime, you make a living by what you get, but you make a life by what you give. We want a higher life today for Florida A&M University. FAMU forward, FAMU forever, no excuses. So thank you for having me. I will entertain any questions that you may have at this time.
Welcome, Dr. Beard. And I
Thank you, sir.
appreciate your thoughts about the fact that we need to raise more money, and we will do that
Yes, sir.
as an organization. And therefore, I'd like to welcome you by asking you to set the example. I have a lifetime membership application to the FAMU Rattler Boosters,
Bring it here.
and I'd like for you to fill this out. Ladies and gentlemen, after today, we will have a new lifetime member, our brand new president
Yeah.
of Florida A&M.
I have only one question, sir. Why is the initiation fee so low?
Oh.
I got you. We got you covered. Thank you, sir.
We got time for maybe a couple more questions if we have them. If not, we have.
Good afternoon, Dr. Beard.
Good afternoon.
So my name is Eunice Heath, and my father is Early Harris, just to provide that association. So I'm not a member formally of the quarterback club, but I guess I'm going to have to, right, Dad? Okay, all right. So I grew up here in Tallahassee, and FAMU has been in my blood. I didn't graduate from FAMU, but I do, and I have done a lot with regards to recruiting and investment into FAMU. So the football field that you have, it is due to my efforts with my former company, the Dow Chemical Company, to provide that field. So that's just to give you
Thank
a
you.
perspective.
Thank you.
All right. So the question that I have, and this is something that's very important. So you mentioned that you're not getting rid of all of your senior leadership, but what I would tell you, in still being in corporate America, I retired from the Dow Chemical Company, and I'm with a new company. But what corporate America sees is that there's a lot of, I'm just going to use the word chaos, a lot of change happening at FAMU.
Right.
I would just encourage you, as you look at corporate America as also being one of the critical partners that not only invests in FAMU, but then also provides the jobs that will enable students and graduates of FAMU to prosper. That you get those corporate America partners on a Zoom call so that they understand your forward vision of FAMU. And I speak from the perspective of, I know how corporate America, our white counterparts think. And I don't want them to think any ill will with regards to where FAMU is today, FAMU is going, and the power of what HBCUs bring to their resilience and longevity of their business in terms of talent and in terms of technology that can come from this university. So I just wanted, and I'll certainly would love to talk with you offline in terms of how we can do that.
Thank you. I appreciate your support for FAMU and other HBCUs throughout this country. You are right. We need the talent that's at this institution. And that's why I said FAMU forward, FAMU forever. But we look forward to going to a higher height. Thank you so much. We will do that.
Let's thank Dr. Beard once again. Let me do a quick check. As we have to continue to move. At this point, we are at 1,050. Later on, I'm going to announce some of the people that gave over the $20, because there's several people that gave over the $20. And thank you, Dr. Beard, for joining us today and continuing to lead the university. We will be moving next. We will bring up briefly Coach Pressure. But before we bring her up, we got to sing happy birthday to her because it's her birthday today. It's not today? Was it yesterday? I got some bad information. Oh, I'm sorry. It's her first year anniversary. It's her birthday at FAMU. That's what it is. All right, so Coach Pressure, can you come up and just give us a few words before Coach Colzie called me today and he said, Vaughn, the president coming. Do I need to come? I say, yes, sir. You need to come. We're 10 days out for a game. You must update us. All right.
Well, I'm just super excited to be celebrating my first year anniversary here on the Hill. I'm going to take a few seconds because I'm a football fan and I want Coach Colzie to come on up here and tell us about the season because I will be in the stands in Atlanta. But I just want to let you know that I'm super excited for year 2. I brought in 8 new young ladies. One is 6'6" that'll come on campus on Sunday, and I'm just so excited. So we're raising the bar. We're going to take this level, take the women's basketball program to another level. And the other thing is that I want to thank everybody that's a part of supporting my student athletes in summer. Because I told them on the other side of campus, they say C's get degrees. But with Coach Pressure, C's don't work with me. And I let them know that. So I was proud to see that only one of my young ladies had a C. So we're going to celebrate, but that one young lady, boy, she might be running some miles out there with Coach Colzie on the football field when she get back. But what I want you guys to know that homecoming is November the 2nd, but we're going to open up against Howard on Monday, the 4th, and they coming to us. And I want y'all to come out and support because my dream is to fill that arena. And guess what? I've been working my butt off because let me tell you something. We coming. We coming. Y'all know I'm a defensive-minded coach. I done went and got some athleticism and some height, so we coming. I'm just going to keep it in the oven because we baking, but we coming. And I want to see all y'all there on November the 4th. And thank you, guys.
Well, I'll tell you, but everybody know when they had a coach like that, you know when it was game time, it was time to go. All right, real quickly before I bring up Coach Colzie, I just got to do one thing. I want to recognize some people that gave above the. We got several $20. We're at $1,200 right now, raised online today. That's what we need to do as Rattlers. We got to continue to support our efforts. As president, I'm going to make it easy for you to give. Once we get the full 501c3 established, you'll be able to Cash App, Venmo, whatever you tell us you need to do to send us money, we're going to have it available. Want to recognize Alfonso Craig. Thank you for that $100. Jacob Henderson, thank you for your $35. Heather, thank you for your $50. Christian Harper, $50. Thank you. Leslie Shepard Young, $50. Stanley Johnson, $40. You know, we do it the Obama way, just little gifts. Heather came back and gave another 100. Sharon Berrien gave 50. Edna, 50. I didn't ask their last name. If they don't want to give their last name, but they want to give money, that's fine with me. Dwayne Sweet, $50. He was the first one to supersede our ask. Thank you, Dwayne. And thank you to every Titus, the barber. Thank you to every single person online who gave. The Cash App is still at the bottom of the screen while Coach Colzie is up. I think while Coach is up, I think we can get another $300 or $400 or $500 while Coach is speaking. So, you know, when the president got up, it was at $300. It got to $700. No pressure on you, Coach. I'm just saying. Ladies and gentlemen, the head coach of the Curtis Richardson's got $100 for us. There we go. Thank you, Curtis. We certainly appreciate that. Always a supporter. But ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to bring to you the head coach of the Florida A&M University Rattlers, James Colzie III.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I'll let it be known that that $100 is for me. That goes into my account. Because he was technically getting ready to introduce me, and then you popped up with 100. It wasn't planned. That was part of the deal. But first of all, good afternoon, everybody. When we came in, and I was driving in, and you seeing all the cars out in the parking lot, and then you walk in and you see the president and his cabinet, see Miss Carmen over there, and I had to check with my quarterback coach. did I make an announcement that I was going to announce the starting quarterback today? And that's why everybody was in here. And then I quickly like, no, I didn't say anything about that. But great, it's always great to see you guys. And I know that just so you guys can understand, you guys got a small glimpse of Coach Pressure. Okay, because I'm gonna tell you right now, when we traveled, Miss Carmen is as my witness, we traveled across the country, and I always had to follow her every time. So I kind of felt like following. Y'all remember Kings of Comedy, right? The original Kings of Comedy. I felt like I was following Bernie Mac every single time she went. I didn't have to say anything. That was it, right? And she obviously she gave you guys a small glimpse. Trust me, she does an amazing job, and I can't wait to see how her season turns out. Well, I'll put it to you like this: we are, we've talked every week. I know we've mentioned, we're almost getting ready to play Norfolk State next Saturday, but I will let you guys know. And we had to change up our practice schedule a little bit. I know you guys remember I was telling you guys we were going early in the morning, and we were going at 6 o'clock on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, but just thinking about my team and thinking about, I got a leadership council with my football team. We were not taking, in my opinion, and our leadership committee opinion, we were not taking care of ourselves at night as far as getting rest. And then after waking up so early in the morning, then making sure that they were eating. So, these, like counting yesterday and then counting today, and then the next Tuesday and Wednesday, we're practicing in the evening. So you sit up all summer and you think you come up with this amazing schedule, this amazing plan, but it's not about me. I want you guys to know it is not about me. It's about the betterment of our players. Now, last year we were able to do that, and I've spoken to you guys about the leadership that we have on this team. Well, we're trying to grow new leaders, right? We're trying to get a better grasp of our football team, understanding about the young men that we have, right? So, and that's me. For me, there was no ego. Hey, let's do it at night. And believe it or not, we actually had one of our best practices last night. And I primarily think because of that, because having a chance to eat, having a chance to meet, having a chance to get the proper treatment. So, like I said, we had a very, very good day, very, very good night yesterday. We'll also have a very, very good night tonight, and then we'll continue to move forward. Now we had meetings up until 12 o'clock today, and our darn quarterbacks, their clocks must be slow, all right, because everyone was ready to go, but we had to grab Coach Burris and his group. So pardon me for maybe us being a little bit late, but our quarterbacks were trying to get that extra, what'd you call it, that extra work. And so, but again, obviously schedule-wise, we try to be extremely structured with our young men. We meet as a staff. We met as a staff this morning at 9:30. We talked about our injuries. We talked about the things that we needed to do to get better, things that we need to continue to get better, being more detailed, et cetera, et cetera. We will start tomorrow on Norfolk State. All right, we'll start on there. I mean, for the first 15, 20 practices, it's been about Florida A&M. Right, making sure we take care of our details, the things that we need to make sure we are great at or we are better at. So, but starting tomorrow will be all about Norfolk State, and I think, a lot of times, you start on Sunday, right? You'll play your game on Saturday, and then you'll come back and that Sunday make corrections and then get ready for the team, get ready for the next opponent. Well, I think we've done enough of going good on good. Right now, it's time to prepare us for Norfolk State. So we'll get a couple days in. We will do a little bit of a scrimmage on Saturday, and then once we get to Sunday, again, it's full tilt for Norfolk State. I will say this, and I'm just going to put this online, Vaughn, because I know it'll reach everybody. But I'm going to do something new. Well, I don't know if it's new, but just something for our football team that we'll do whenever we play a home game or an away game. All right. So obviously next week we play on the road. So every night, Vaughn, I would like to get, and Mr. Mathis is already taking care of Atlanta, but I'd like every night, whether it's home or away, I'd love to just have a former player come talk to our football team. I think it's important and to understand that, just so you get in the mind of having all these guys coming in the transfer portal, right? And you always you get the best player, right? Get the kid from Miami, Florida, or get the kid from Los Angeles, California. But I don't really feel at times, right? The guys that we do bring in, they truly, truly understand what it's like to be playing football for Florida A&M University, right? And I'll give you an instance. Okay, we have a young man who just came in. He was you know, and he was sitting in my office, and we're talking about getting your physicals and making sure you playbook and making sure you're cleared and all these other things. And then come to find out, Mr. Matthews was talking to him, and I knew where the young man was from, right? But again, my head was just making sure I could get everything situated for him to be able to compete with us, today or tomorrow. And then Mr. Matthews asked me, "Where are you from? Where are you from?" And the guy said, "Oh, I think he said he's from Boston." And then he goes, "Well, what school are you from?" And he goes, "Well, UMass. I played at UMass. He was at UMass for 3 years, and we're going to end up getting him, for this last season." And so, Mr. Matthews quickly went up to him and he goes, I want you to do some research." And then the kids looking at Mr. Matthews is thinking, "Man, I didn't come here to talk about school. I mean, school don't start till the 26th." Well, Mr. Matthews asked me, he's like, "Yeah, I want you to find out what the connection is between FAMU and UMass." Right? And I sat back in my chair and I was like, you know what? That is a great question. What is the connection of FAMU and you? I know what it is. I knew the answer, but I thought it was going to be really, really entertaining for the young man to understand that, it is a small world, right? Obviously there's a lot of things that happen, but for this young man to come into our university from UMass, the team that we did what to? We beat the national championship, right? And he had no idea about that. So again, right, the tremendous amount of history of this program, right? The tremendous amount of players that have come through this program, the tremendous amount of support and alumni, boosters from across the country for this program. All right. I think it's going to be extremely important for our guys every night before we line up on that next day, just to hear from somebody who wore those colors, understand those colors, and bleeds those colors. So want to make sure if I can, Ray's already got me one. I want to do it for the home games, and obviously want to do it for the road games, and we will be doing that every Friday night. And I just, it sparked my memory, and Mr. Matthews will tell you, I asked him yesterday, I said, "Hey, I need somebody to speak." He's already got 2 speakers. I just need one. I don't want to be there all night, right? It's supposed to be 20 minutes. Right, but Mr. Matthews had somebody from the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. Hey, don't. All right, it'll be one a week, and believe it or not, as many people that would like to come, trust me, I'll definitely make room for it. But that's something I want to make sure that I bring it up to you, Vaughn. Obviously, I know that's something you could definitely help me with, and I'll lean on you with that along with Mr. Matthews. But anyway, we are going into we had a great practice yesterday, as I mentioned. We go live from time to time. Obviously, as you know, rules, we're not allowed to go full pads every day, right? Back in the day, you could go full pads until everybody got tired. But now it's it's NCAA. You go full pads, then you come back, you got to go shoulder pads, right? So then we'll go full pads again tomorrow. But you got a group right now where I'm extremely excited to see how we will play against other people. Right, you got Davion Westmoreland, the young man who's Big 12, played at Kansas, played at the Power 4 level. He's every bit of 6'4", 6'5", 265 pounds. He's got 2 years, and he's going to be a grad student. But every day he's going against Ashton Grable, another guy who's 6'5", 310 pounds. He was an All-American for us last year. So, every once in a while, I like to see what they're doing to each other. I like to see them doing that to somebody else. Right? I really, you got sweat and blood, everything going everywhere. You got to duck sometimes when these 2 guys are going. But you see guys that are competing at an extremely high level, right? And they're doing every single thing asked of them, being in treatment, right? Making sure they're taking care of their meetings. I'm asking them to be leaders. I'm asking them to be great young men off the field, right? And I think we're at practice 19. Which will be practice 19 today. So, training camp has been long, yes, but we have done everything they've done everything I've asked of them, continuing to get better, continuing to take care of the small things, continuing to hopefully make you guys proud as we open up that season next Saturday in Atlanta, Georgia, against Norfolk State. Now, as you guys know, every week I always bring a couple coaches with me, okay? And I saved, I guess, I don't want to say the best for last, but I know he's going to get the most questions, so I'm gonna let him go first, okay? All right, so my first guy that I'm going to let you guys, I don't want to say berate, but ask questions. The first I'm going to let you guys ask questions is our co-offensive coordinator and our quarterback coach, Coach Henry Burris.
Thank you so much. Hey, everybody, it's good to be back. How's everybody doing today? Good. Well, I mean, training camp has been outstanding. Of course, I'll focus mainly on the quarterback room, but of course, along with Junior Meritovich, who, of course, is a returning quarterback, Daniel Richardson, and it's been well documented that those are the two guys battling for the #1 job. And I'll tell you, I've loved sitting back, just watching one of those guys throw a nice pass, get a touchdown. The look on the other's face is like, man, I got to match that. And then he'll bounce back. He'll get a touchdown pass, make some completions, get some good things going. I can tell you guys right now that within that room, it's an arms race right now. I mean, these guys are competing their butts off because they know what's at stake, and they know to be able to step in at the helm to lead the current HBCU national champions into the future here in the season of 2024. They're doing everything that you wouldn't even ask them to do. They're doing that as well, just to make sure they put themselves in pole position to be the guys that lead us. But even beyond that, I mean, we've got a battle taking place at the #3 position with Austin Hooker, who's a transfer from North Carolina A&T, and also Bryson Martin, who's also another transfer from the University of Miami. Those two guys have been battling it out. They both have their strong sets. They both have of course, their weaknesses is more their experience. But hey, when these guys get out there and they make plays, you hear a lot of oohs and ahs behind those guys when they show their true God-given ability. And we've got a couple of younger guys also. We got David Oliveris Jordan. He's a JUCO transfer from out in California and LA. Big, strong arm kid. And then, of course, we got a young freshman who's a Floridian. He's from Rockledge High School out on the Space Coast, Traven Green. Now, this kid, he reminds me of a younger version of a Colin Kaepernick. I mean, this kid's got a bright future. I mean, he can slang it, and he runs a sub 10, like I think it was like around a 10.5, 10.6 in the 100 in high school. But, you know, this kid, he's got abilities that are out of this world. So we've got when it comes to just talent-wise, we've got a very gifted and well-endowed quarterback room as far as the fact that we've got leaders in there, guys who not only do it on the field, but they're even more well-documented for doing it off the field as well. And those are the type of men that we need to be leading Rattler Nation into the future. So without that, I know you guys don't want to hear me talk about that. I know you got some important questions that you got to ask because we're 10 days out. And right now we're going to what in our room, we call it the calm before the storm, because we're focused on what we got to do to get better, because once coach tells us that we can get ready for Norfolk State, that's when we're all going to really get excited as far as looking forward to that game in Atlanta, Georgia. So if there's any questions, I'll definitely take those on right now. Yes, sir. I'll start in the back there. Then Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yes.
Okay, this is on. Okay. I got a simple question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now this is NFL. Last year in the NFL, the New York Jets season went downhill.
Quickly.
Very, very quickly. My question is this. Are you all preparing for the second or third string quarterback to step in? And if so, do you all have a game plan for that person?
100%. I mean, and that's the importance of all the quarterbacks, especially the first four, getting the reps needed for us. #1, to get to know what their strengths and weaknesses are, what's their identity. But also as coaches, we empower each and every of our quarterbacks to take things over, take things in their hands. Before each and every scrimmage that we have, I ask each of the quarterbacks to draw up, based on situational awareness, give me your top 6 plays that you would want the coach to call, as far as Coach Joseph Henry, the offensive coordinator, in that given situation, because we want to put the onus on them. Because, again, we have to prepare for the worst. So we got to make sure our first 4 quarterbacks are ready to play any given notice. Because, again, I don't want to be going out there. I'm 49 years old. If I get hit, I'm going to turn to dust. So, again, I don't want to be out there playing. I got to make sure they're ready to go. I don't want Coach Colzie having to play quarterback. You know, he's a defensive back. So, you know, the thing is, when we make sure all the first 4 quarterbacks are ready to go, we're making sure we challenge them both mentally and physically, because without mental confidence, a quarterback can't succeed. And the way you build that is making sure you prepare them from each and every given scenario, but also building up their volume and reps. So whenever they're out there, they've been there, they've done it before, and they're ready to respond when called on.
How you doing, Coach?
Good. How you doing, sir?
I think with last week we had the wide receiver coach in, and we asked him about the quarterback, and he said his wide receiver was ready to go. But when we asked him about the quarterback, he gave me a strange look. So I'm wondering, y'all up for it?
Oh man, quarterbacks are ready to rock and roll. I mean, right now it's going to be a photo finish for the starting job, and that's the way we love it.
So
'Cause
y'all 10 days, y'all 10 days out. I mean, you gonna make the decision this week?
Are we going to make the decision this week, Coach?
Are we gonna just wait
Well,
till we get to Georgia?
You know, the good thing about having things come down to the final few days is the fact that the pressure is at an all-time high on these guys. We want to see who can stand the test of time. Is pressure going to bust your pipes, or is it going to make you a diamond? That's what we're ready to see right now. But both of these, I mean, if you saw practice last night, you saw one guy unleash it, the next guy came back letting it fly. And I'm like, this is what we want, because now at least this is guaranteeing us, regardless of who is named the starter, we've got two bona fide starters, a 1A and a 1B, that can step in and make things happen, regardless of who it's against. But I want pressure on these guys, because when we step out on that field in Atlanta in 10 days, the pressure is going to be on. However, I want them to already have endured it for 4 or 5 weeks as far as for training camp. So when they step out there, it's just another day at the ballpark. But yeah, a decision has to be made soon. But we're going to let those guys decide it based on their play.
Because I know, you want, as a quarterback, a former quarterback myself, you want to have.
OT, you got him, OT.
You want to be in that comfort zone. You want to be in a comfort zone and know that this is your team.
100%.
A few days before the game, so you can, just get that in your head. You know what I mean?
And you're right, and that will happen. That will occur. I mean, right now they know, all 4 quarterbacks know it's their team, and especially when they step across that line onto the field, and we're signaling whatever play or we call whatever play for them. They know at that moment in time it's their team. But we've empowered every single quarterback. Whenever they feel something in their heart that needs to be communicated to the team, they got full autonomy to say just that, because we believe in who they are. And if that weren't the case, they wouldn't be in the room. They wouldn't be on this team. So yes, they know it's their team, but yes, that time will be allotted, and they'll know exactly who the guy is before it's time to kick it off. And I can't say when, because that's above my pay grade. So.
Well, Junior told me to ask this question.
I don't.
Coach.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
Yeah, they're talking about the quarterback. I want to know, how's the offensive line? The quarterback ain't new enough to not block it up there, and he'll be running for his life. But how we looking there? That's what I want to see. How's the line, offensive line?
Oh man, Coach Henry and them have done a masterful job. I mean, when you talk about experience that's returning from last year's successful season, I mean, you've got some beasts up front. I mean, these guys, they have created the mindset and the culture for our entire team, because you see some of the young guys who came in, whenever they're doing things, when the O-line steps up, everything hushes up quickly. So they set the mindset. I mean, you've got one of the most confident bunches in the entire country. We've got one of the best offensive lines in the entire country, regardless of conference, of level, or whatever you want to, however you want to fit it. But these guys are ready to play. And Coach Henry and Coach TJ Demas, who's the assistant O-line coach, they did a great job of going out and grabbing some of the best players in the portal to come in and help fill up those gaps as far as from the offensive line, but also to create depth, because unfortunately injuries are going to happen. But we've got some guys that have done a stand-up job. I'm not going to talk too much about how great they are, because Coach Walker's here, who coaches the D-line, and I don't want to say our O-line is doing a great job and all these things, because hey, the defensive line, our iron sharpens iron, has made our offensive line that much better with the battles that have been taking place in training camp. But the O-line, they're ready to rock and roll both in the pass game and in the run game. They're opening up holes.
Thank you. Yeah, good quarterback here. Out of eligibility. I can't catch it and hold it, though, Coach. If you need me, I got a little eligibility. I can catch it and hold it for the kicker.
Okay, yes, sir.
Mr. President, coaches, my question is a little broader, consistent with President Beard's comment of off the field as well. Each year of our election, unofficially, I've taken on responsibility of marching students out from FAMU to go vote, early vote. It would mean a lot if Rattler teams were a part of our Wednesday march out to vote as we lead students from all disciplines. We have an HBCU person on the ballot this year representing HBCUs. And we won't say anything about Howard University, excuse me, like that. Uh, but, feel me when I say it's important. I'm asking if you coaches would allow for your athletes to be a part of the energy that we're trying to create to get at least 4,000 or 5,000 students from FAMU to go and vote and put the energy out there that we're able to challenge other HBCU campuses to march their students out to take advantage of early voting. That's a desire. If you can collaborate with SGA and other student groups to early vote your teams, with your teams being out front leading the way.
That's a great point. And I know for the national election, we actually don't even have practice that day. Like we don't even we allow them to go out and vote. I think that's a great collaborative effort. I mean, let's talk about it. I think that's a big deal. We can't tell them who to vote now. Don't we can't tell them who to vote for, right? But I'd love to do that. I really would. Okay, well, let's do it. Let me know. I'd love to do that. Love to do that. Um, Now, who asked the Antonio Carter question? Now, you asked about him. Now, there's two reasons why he looked like that. Okay, first one is that's just how he looks. Okay, and the second one was he was looking at me to make sure he wasn't going to say he wasn't looking like that because of the play of the quarterbacks. He was looking at me just, he knows right now not to say anything. If that makes any sense. So that's why he looked like that. Okay.
Coach,
Yes.
again, back here.
Oh boy. Let's do it.
With the information that you all are giving us, when the band leave at halftime, the game should be over. Is that that
You're trying to put stuff on their bulletin board. That's what you're trying to do.
well, no, I know you can't just answer answer that question like that, but we will not be sitting in the fourth quarter trying to figure out the outcome of the game.
Well, I mean, I'm always going to respect our opponents. Always. I will say this. I think we have a really good opportunity if we play well. We're playing a team that it's going to be their first game as well. We're not going to have all our numbers and percentages and tendencies and stuff like that. So you could easily have two teams in the beginning of a game trying to figure each one of us out, right? Their quarterback is returning. He was an all MEAC. He was an all MEAC preseason player, right? But apparently they brought another quarterback in that's supposed to be better. So we got to make sure the roster's right, and just make sure that the right people are here. I'm confident in what we have and what we can do. If we play well, we should be on the right side of the scoreboard. But we got to play well. People fail to realize winning a football game is extremely hard to do. And we got to make sure we're ready to play. And you know what? We might get some adversity early. So, and hopefully we can find a way to find ourselves out of it. So, we're going to respect our opponents, and if we play well, we should be in a good spot. Yes, ma'am.
Hold on. I got you.
Number 54. When I saw him Saturday, what is his classification? I asked him to stand up, and when he stood up, he kept going up and up and up.
That's got to be Wingfield. Is that Wingfield? Wingfield. Yes, ma'am.
Who is he?
It's Christian Wingfield. He's a transfer from Austin P.
What's his class?
He's played 2 years, but I want to say he's either one of his years. I want to say he redshirted, so he's probably either a redshirt sophomore or a true junior.
Okay.
He's an offensive lineman.
Whoever get hurt out there, put him in there.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And we got a pretty good looking group.
Coach, how's the practice field?
We have not been on it. We've been on the game field, so we have not been on the practice field.
You have not been on the practice field.
No, we have not. I mean, same situation we had from last week, not cut yet, but a lot of we've been on the practice field. Excuse me, we've been on the game field, practically the entire training camp.
Sad,
Sir.
sad.
I-
It's bad. I'm sorry.
Oh well, I mean, we're gonna practice where we can, right? So I mean, the field hasn't been lined. I know it's been cut, but it hasn't been lined. And we do a lot of special team stuff, right? So with our special teams, we need to be on our game field. So, but I mean, like if we were having an afternoon practice tomorrow, which we would, love to be on the game field. Excuse me, love to be on the practice field. Excuse me.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I'm gonna go last but not least. He's our defensive line coach. Obviously, you guys have met him because he was one of our new hirees. But this is our defensive line coach, Coach Casey Walker. You gotta go. You gotta go, boss. You gotta go. Go ahead. You gotta go.
How's it going? How's it going? Good afternoon. Now, I do want to say this. The offense have been clicking and have been doing a very, very, very good job. But I don't know where Coach Bird's come up with all these touchdown passes on this dark cloud. I don't see it. But no, I'm glad to be here on behalf of the defense with Coach Milton Patterson as our defensive coordinator and the defensive line. As far as me, we're doing a really good job. We working. All the transfers that's in is trying to gel together to get back to what's the norm and what FAMU defense has been all about.
Vaughn, if I could make one announcement. It's the fairground event is tomorrow at 5 o'clock, tomorrow at 5 p.m., free 99, all you can eat.
Okay. So about myself a little bit. From Dallas, Texas, born and raised. Played at Oklahoma University. Played 4 years in the NFL for the Carolina Panthers, New England Patriots, Baltimore Ravens, Dallas Cowboys, and the Buffalo Bills. So I am a D lineman myself. Started coaching, retired from the NFL, got into coaching, and led me here. So blessed to be here. Yeah. Oh, okay. That's right. All right, Auntie.
Coach, more of
Yes,
a
sir.
comment than anything so that everybody realizes offense wins games,
Defense wins
wins what?
championships.
What?
Championships.
Defense.
All day. All day. Yes, sir.
Are you all guys relatively healthy on the defensive line?
Little bit, a couple of bruises and knacks, but by game one we'll be healthy though. Yeah.
Oh. And to answer your quarterback question, we will make one. We will make a decision on Sunday. Sunday, we'll be able to go there. So Sunday will be the day. Sunday will be the day. I didn't say this Sunday. I just said Sunday would be the day. I just said any Sunday.
Coach, you got a question online asking how are the kickers looking?
I said this to you guys last week. We base our conditioning on the kickers. So we work our field goals. We'll do what we call hurricane kick, which is clock's running down. We got to get the offense, got to get the offense off the field, put the field goal unit on the field, and they have to kick it within 8 or 9 seconds. So yesterday, I think we missed 2. Was that what we missed yesterday? 2 yesterday. And then the day before that, I think we were perfect. And the day before that, we had missed 2. So the people who don't like our kickers right now are probably our offensive, defensive line. Because they got to run every time we miss a kick. So, but we're putting a lot of pressure on them. I mean, those guys, our kicker, Cameron Gillis, is preseason all-conference, all-American. Our punter, who I feel, I haven't seen a guy punt like that on any football team that I've ever been on, in Trey Wilhoit. So, I like where we are at that point. We got some of the best long snappers as well. So our operation's really, really good. It's just our kickers aren't making the field goals when conditioning counts. So we try to put as much pressure as we can. We'll put pressure on their butt again today, and hopefully we can continue just to we'll make them. They were, I think, 14. Cameron Gillis was maybe 14 or 15 last year, and then Trey Wilhoit averaged about 45 to 46 yards per punt. So good, really, really good guys, and obviously those are guys that are returning. And you don't really know who they are until they don't do well. So hopefully you guys don't know who they are, right? Again, guys, thank you. We will see you guys hopefully next Wednesday, and and I think I'll probably bring a couple players with me next week. But thanks again. Good to see everybody, and appreciate the fan day. I love to see everybody at fan day. I need a recount on the golf tournament. You said I lost, but you never gave me a score. I need some scores. Okay. Again, thanks for everything. I'll see you guys next week. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach. Great job, baby. All right. We are going to start with continuing to recognize only those who gave over the $20, because I'm gonna tell you the total, so that's a lot of 20s. We're raising money the Obama way, just a lot of little. Sharon G., thank you for your $50. Carlette Smith, thank you for your $50. Nard Spencer, thank you for your $50. Terrell Bowman, thank you for your $50. Curtis Richardson, we received your $100. Rico James, thank you for your $50. Billy Rowe, Coach Rowe back there, thank you, Coach. Coach Rowe sent us $100. And at that point that Coach Rowe sent us that $100, we were at $2,700. So the president said, what number are we at? So he did $300 to make sure we got to the 2,000 mark. And so as of right now, today we have raised via Cash App $2,095, and we need that. Thank you, people online, for participating. We need to make sure we make a mark with that online every week. Coach Pressure and all our coaches need all of that assistance. And also, we like to recognize another thing people have been asking a lot about is the $1 Million campaign. We are revamping and organizing the $1 Million campaign. We're going to set a June deadline for us so that we have sufficient time to reach the goal. And today we'd like to thank the Norwoods for $1,000 to go to the $1 Million campaign. Thank you very much for your diligence. And just like we made it easy to give, and money's still coming in as I'm speaking. So this is a good thing. We're going to use technology to make our job a little easier for us and accessible to everyone. So we had 400 people online today. That's definitely a record for us. So thank you all for tuning in. And people ask, how do you join the 220 Quarterback Club? When you send us a donation, you are a member. We don't have membership fees or anything like that. When you send us a donation, you are officially a member of the 220 Quarterback Club.
Okay, for those that are going to Atlanta, you haven't made a reservation yet, I got a reservation for you. It's only going to be good for Thursday, tomorrow night. I mean, it's for the weekend, but the reservation's going to end tomorrow night. Now, if you will send to me your email address, and I will text you the code. It's too much to put on the line right now. So again, if you would send to me 850 445-9689. It's $134 per night. Free breakfast for each night that you stay there. Parking is $34. So again, the hotel is the Hampton Inn, and it's at downtown Atlanta. So again, 850-445-9689. Thank you. I will send it to them. Yes, okay. I was correct. I've been corrected. If you would give me your email address, I will make sure that I would send you the code. Okay? Tommy, the deadline is tomorrow night.
I want to make a statement related to Ms. Gordon. If you know anything about basketball, you need to know that this lady got to the playoffs last year with 2 ball handlers. She had, and the second one was on the bench, okay? And if O.T. Simpson's daughter hadn't got hurt, they might have won that game. So I'm telling you, y'all remember last year, I didn't ask no questions. The AD asked me what I thought. She said, fundamentals, I'm good. And let me tell you something. Get ready for this lady. She's dangerous.
Coach did want to make one more recognition.
I want to make a recognition on Gene McKinney and his wife. They purchased our shooting gun, and our ladies have been using it all 6 weeks that we've been in the gym. So I wanted to make sure we thank you and your wife, Mr. McKinney. And a quick update. I told you about the Howard game, but also in conjunction with when we go down there and play them people near my town. I don't like to call them. You know them other people that we play down there at the Classic. Okay, on that Saturday, they're going to play the Classic and kick, butt. And then we play on that Sunday at noon versus UCF. So don't pike up. I know y'all staying tonight. So just come watch the game at noon when we kick the night butts. So we'll be at UCF on that Sunday at noon. Okay, and we're coming to Atlanta. Everybody know the SWAC tournament is in Atlanta. They up the number of teams. It's 10 men teams, 10 women teams will participate in the SWAC, and it is in Atlanta, Georgia this year. And I'm also coming to Atlanta, Georgia to play Georgia Tech on December the 1st. So it's close. I'm playing. I go to Gainesville and play them on the 7th. And guess what? We playing Florida State on the 11th. Coach is going back and playing Florida State. We hadn't played them in a while. So you asked, and I have given you everything that you asked for. You wanted a MEAC challenge, and I got Howard. You wanted us to go back cross town and play a rival. It's back. So all I need you to do is support. I need you to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, and we'll get there. Because if I get them there, oh, they coming back. Because we got some excitement for them to see. So I just wanted to say thank you for year 1. It was such a blessing to do something that nobody thought that we were able to do. I told y'all, we coming. We coming. Just give me some time. But thank you guys for everything. Yes, sir. And I got some laptops. I mean, I can just go down the line. A shooting gun. I have 3 mic laptops for my assistants. I got to go back and revamp my list. If you want, now what I really want to do, I just found out that there is a tournament next year. It's called an MTE, which means that you can play 2 teams, 3 teams, and only qualifies for 2 games. And that's in Montego Bay, Jamaica. So that's going to be my next campaign, is to raise money to take them there, if possible. If you go back and do the history, fam, you have been to a tournament just like that. So why not? If my ladies win the SWAC, they deserve to go to Montego Bay.
All right. And thank you, Geneva Wesley. We got your donation online. She's watching online, and she didn't have access to send it that way. So she had somebody in the room to give us her money. Hey, listen, whatever way it works, we will take it. We're going to make it easy and easier for you to give in person, at home, online, at your job, wherever you are. The 220 Quarterback Club will make it easily accessible And we thank you for, I'll just give the final total before we leave. Today we raised online with our online giving, $2,195. That's a great start. That's a great start. So Ms. Jackson, CEO Jackson, are we good? All right. Thank everybody for coming out. Don't forget the fish fries tomorrow at 5 o'clock free at the Leon County Fairgrounds, and we'll see everybody back next Wednesday.